Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. This is one of my most favorite times of year because it's time for touchdowns and tutus. So we've got, of course, Ashley Bettis with the Canton Ballet, and we've got Madeline and Amon. And I'm going to guess, just guessing here, that Madeline is the one from the Canton Ballet and Amon is the football player. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
Okay, just guessing. And Amon, you're a Maslin Tiger.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Yay, go Tigers. TIG.
ERS.
Thank you very much. Okay. And Ashley, this has to be one of the most fun things for you. Do you just look forward to this as much as the rest of the community does?
Yes, I do. It's exciting. Every year it gets better. We always try to change up the actual show itself every year, including also the pre-party and post-party. So we always try to give our audience something new and something to look forward to every year. So I'm looking forward to Touchdowns and Tutus 2020.
Now, let's make it clear that Amon is not going to be doing ballet.
He is not. So nobody, full disclosure, anybody that's listening, Touchdowns and Tutus is not a ballet performance. It is a benefit performance for Canton Ballet. However, the various dancing duos, which there's 12 of them, they dance in various genres, everything from hip-hop to musical theater to jazz to contemporary. So many idioms. And there is no ballet for anyone that's never been to the show. No ballet.
Oh, no. And who does the choreography for each of the teams?
In the past, actually the last 3 years, it's always been alumna of Canton Ballet. However, because the event has grown so much, we're now getting choreographer resume submissions from people in Northeast Ohio.
Wow.
And not just Stark County, but Northeast Ohio. So this year, a portion of them are alumna of Canton Ballet. However, we do have other choreographers that are joining us this year. In fact, one choreographer in particular, he worked with Disney. He has been on America's Got Talent, Season 7.
What?
He is a dance professor at Case Western in Notre Dame College. He saw it on social media and he saw the NFL Films Presents feature.
Yes.
And he reached out and was like, how do I volunteer and how do I become a part of this? So I talked to him and he sent me my resume. He's like, I'm sending my resume and my bio so you don't think I'm a total weirdo. And and so he's choreographing. His name is Richard. And we have some other area dance educators that are joining us this year. So I think what's really great about kind of branching out into the choreography realm, everybody brings something different to the table. Mm-hmm. So everyone, so you might have a, choreographer that their strength is hip hop, in tumbling and stunts. And then you might have another choreographer who's, stronger in contemporary dance or whatever. So everyone brings something unique to the table. And I think it's going to make the program stronger and more diverse.
Madeline, how is it working with a completely new and unique choreographer, different than, I'm guessing, anyone else you've worked with so far at the ballet?
Actually, our choreographer this year is someone that I work with almost every week.
Oh,
but
nice.
It's really awesome because I love him with all my heart, Mr. A. He's awesome. He really knows how to bring out, the best in me. And especially for us, too, he's really brought out, our strong points.
Shout out to Mr. A. How long have you been involved with Canton Ballet?
This is my 13th year.
13th. You were how old when you started?
I was 5 when I started.
Oh, my goodness. And my guess is someone took you to see the Nutcracker and you fell in love with ballet.
It was actually The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
We had just moved to Ohio, and my dad took us to see The Wizard of Oz because we're from Kansas.
Yes.
So it's a big thing. And,
Of course, there you go.
Obviously. And then,
Not Kansas anymore.
No. And then actually our senior ballet is The Wizard of Oz, so it's kind of come full circle for me.
Oh, how perfect. My goodness. So what part are you in it?
I am the Cowardly Lion.
How fun is that? What do you love about ballet?
It's become a release for me. I can exhale when I walk into a ballet studio because it's become my passion, my art, and it's really difficult this year is saying goodbye to it, but it's become a really good year for me. I've gotten a lot of really great parts that have really allowed me to build as a person and a character, and especially Touchdowns and Tutus. It's something fun, and it's really letting me enjoy my senior year.
Yeah. Amon, I'm so interested in how you got involved. How did they rope you into this, Amon?
So when I first even heard about it, my cousin had did it last year, Kashad. And then this year, my brother Andrew, actually, he texted me and he said, one of the senior girls, they need a partner. Their partner just couldn't come. He couldn't make it. She really needs a partner. Could you help her out? I said, I mean, I dance all the time, like when I'm at home and when I'm just chilling and relaxing. So I don't see why not. And then I ended up getting into it.
Very fun. So there's dancing that's just in you, and then there's dancing where someone's telling you what steps to do. How different is this?
Oh man, it's a lot different. It's a little bit more confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's just like when you're chilling with your friends and just dancing, having fun.
I'm hoping that by now, how many years have we been doing this?
This is year number 4.
Okay. By now, it's cool enough that you don't have to explain to all the other guys on the team that this is a really cool thing that you're doing, right?
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah.
They all know this is something that a lot of people look forward to doing, and that it's something that you have fun doing it.
Are you going to have a lot of team out there rooting for you while you're...
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
How does this become a fundraiser then? Tell me about...
How we raise money for touchdowns and tutus is strictly through ticket sales and sponsorships. So that's our only income is ticket sales and sponsorships.
So you two have to go out and have your friends sponsor you, or
No.
you just
The
have
kids
sponsors
don't.
for the program.
Corporate
You don't have-
sponsors, yeah.
You don't have to raise any money.
No.
All you have to do is learn a dance and perform it that night.
Yep.
They get the easy job. I get the hard job of the
Actually,
fun.
it's all on your shoulders
the
then.
fundraising. Yeah,
But this has become a huge thing, has it not?
it has. It has.
Let's talk about NFL films.
Yes.
How did that happen?
So? The very first year, which was 2017, about 2 weeks before the show, which was in March, I got a phone call from someone that said, you're in USA Today. And I said, I think that's the wrong publication. You're calling the wrong person. It's
Yes.
the wrong fundraising event. I am not in USA Today. And they're like, no. USA Today Sports. The headline says, Ohio high school football players team up with ballerinas for a benefit performance.
How did they find it? Was this on the AP Wire?
Yeah, I went through the AP Newswire. And then then the show happened in March of 2017, and then a couple of months went by, and I got a phone call from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I don't know anybody that lives in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. It's probably someone trying to sell me insurance.
Right. That would be the natural thing to think.
So I didn't answer, right? Because
So
who
you
answers phone calls from Mount Laurel? I don't even know where.
No.
Mount Laurel. Where's Mount Laurel, right?
Right. Let that ring through. Yes.
Right. So then it came a text message and it said, "This is Greg Frith, executive producer, NFL Films. We would like to discuss potentially doing a documentary on this fundraiser. We think it's really great." So, I wasn't really sure. I was like,
I still would be
not
suspect.
sure if this guy's in the insurance business.
Right.
Maybe he still might be. I don't know. And then, so I ended up calling him back, and we had a long phone call, and then we had like a conference call with like a bunch of people on staff at NFL Films, and they were just immediately enthusiastic about it. There
Yeah.
was no like selling it really. They just thought it was like the greatest thing ever. And I think anymore, like especially television, regular cables in such, I would think, competition now with streaming, and there's such a demand for family-friendly content, and
Yes.
trying to engage this age here that we're talking about, this high school younger age, that I think, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. Where can people still see that?
It's online. You can go on NFL.com. You can put in just touchdowns and tutus. You can go and Google and just put NFL Films, touchdowns and tutus. Actually, I think you can even put in just touchdowns and tutus in Google or on YouTube, and you can watch the full-length docu-feature.
They say that when someone copies what you're doing, that is the greatest compliment
Yes,
ever.
exactly.
Do you know of this being reproduced anywhere?
Not yet that I'm aware of. I think we value also from obviously being in the cradle of football and having the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a venue
Yes.
for a post-reception. So I think that's definitely something an advantage we have
That's
over
all
everyone
ours,
else.
yeah.
Not that like another place couldn't get it. I'm not even going to tell anybody in case they're listening because I don't want to give them ideas. They can call me if they want to put a touchdowns and tutus on.
Okay.
But I think the great thing about it is, there's a variety of ways you can contribute, whether it's just purchasing a ticket, it's placing an ad in the program, whether it's a full page, half page, quarter page. You can go in at an entry level contribution all the way up to a $10,000 corporate sponsor. And I think because we have the pre-party beforehand and the post-party, you also have the opportunity to attend one event, 2 events, or all 3.
Nice.
And I think that's what's kind of fun about it. It's very family friendly. You know, you don't have to worry about getting a babysitter, getting a dress, and
Bring
the
everyone.
tux and the hoopla. And, you know, it's just take a shower if you want. And or don't, you know, and just show up, you know, and that's it.
When is this going to be?
Touchdowns and Tutus is going to be held March 7th.
Coming
There
up.
is a pre-game reception on the club level floor of Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. So that's a new location this year. And that will offer heavy hors d'oeuvres, an open bar, a little private acoustic concert beforehand. Very kind of like casual, kind of a way to kick off the evening. And then you can head on over to Umstadt Hall, which is located directly next to
Yeah.
the
hall.
stadium.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we have a post reception at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And the Pro Football Hall of Fame is closed to the public, so it's exclusive access. We'll have a DJ. There will be food stations from 10 different restaurants. It's all tailgate theme, so you don't have to worry if your kids will like something or not. You know, we have everything from like gourmet mac and cheese to sliders to, you know,
Wow.
it's completely casual. And then you can tour the Hall of Fame if you want. We have a celebrity and dancer meet and greet. It's a good time.
It's
So-
too great. Who's doing the catering?
We have there are different restaurants. So we'll have we're gonna have George's Lounge because everybody likes a grass-fed
Sure
cheeseburger.
do.
I
Yes.
mean, who doesn't?
Right.
We're going to also have Forno. They're in the northeast region of the state. It's wood-fired pizza,
Ooh.
real wood-fired,
Wow.
like the real deal. Village Catering is another participant. We're going to have Nothing But Cakes. Kenny Peterson, retired from the NFL, local guy. He owns Nothing But Cakes. And we have several other food purveyors that will be
I did
joining
not
us.
realize that Nothing But Cakes was owned by a former professional football player.
Yeah, Kenny
Never
Peterson. He went to McKinley.
Never knew that. Love the cakes.
Played Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Sorry.
He was a
you
judge
did-
last year.
You did say the other team's name here. That's okay.
Oh, Kishman's down in Minerva. If anyone's ever they have a food truck and they do pulled pork. So they have a
Ooh.
smoker on this truck. So they're doing a smoked pork station. So that'll be fun too.
Oh, that all sounds delicious.
So the great thing is we have like these restaurants coming from all over the region. So we have, you know, Kishman's, you know, down in Minerva to the Cleveland area, wood-fired pizza. So that's exciting.
I think what's happened is you've hit that tipping point where everybody loves this event and they're all jumping on board. You don't have to sell it to anyone anymore.
Well, that's the one catch. I mean, I think for the most part, even if people were like, no, sorry, we can't participate this year.
Yeah.
At least when you approach them, no one ever says, well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Because that was definitely the case the first year. Excuse me? You
doing
want
what?
money for what? You want a donation for what?
I do want to go
But not
back to what that
anymore.
first year was like. But in only 4 years, you've got this amazing thing. Now, if I'm understanding right,
Now, if I can only afford a billboard. So if there's anyone listening
Okay.
that wants to donate a billboard or wants a corporate sponsor, I would love to have that picture of Kelly Yankel, who's an alumna of Canton Ballet.
Yes.
She's going to be a judge this year because everyone's like, who is that girl in the eye black that's everywhere? She is, in fact, real. She is a human being. She also went to Canton Central Catholic. And
She's my idol.
and she is
we
an
need
alumna,
this.
and she's going to be a judge this year at Touchdowns and Tutus. But I would really just love a billboard over the highway or on the side of a building. I mean, I could settle for that.
we need to make this happen.
How do we do
somebody,
that?
Yeah, somebody
Maybe we
listening.
can get like I don't know what
corporate sponsor,
Yeah,
right?
you
So-
want name recognition on the side of a building. Mm-hmm. Is Rob Hankins listening?
Come on, Rob. Rob,
I just really want Kelly
Shout
that
out
tutu
to
in that
Rob.
eye black with the football on the building.
oh, that would be
'Cause,
just
I mean,
too
it's
cute.
real. It's authentic.
Absolutely. How do they contact you if they want to make this happen?
I was about to give my cell phone number over the airways, and that was not going to be smart. No, we're
Don't
going
do
to can
that. No.
nix that.
No.
You can email info@touchdownsandtutus.com.
Just spell the whole thing out.
Yep.
Touchdowns
Info
and
at touchdowns and tutus,
And
and that's
tutus.
TUTU. It's amazing that people can't spell
don't know how
tutu
to. Well,
yet.
not everybody's taken ballet. Info at touchdown and tutus.com. and we want to see that billboard happen. We need to take a short break. We're visiting with Ashley Bettis. We've got Amon and Madeline here. We'll be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community. Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Ashley Bettis, Amon, and Madeline, and they are going to be participating in touchdowns and tutus on, remind
7th.
me the
March
day. I didn't
7th?
write that down. March 7th.
The show begins at 6:30. The cocktail party on the club level floor of Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium begins at 5.
Uh-huh.
And then a reception follows afterwards at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
So can we buy tickets to 1, 2, or all 3?
Correct. So if you buy the all access pass, you save $10.
Nice.
So you can go online at cantonballet.com, or you can call the box office at 330-455-7220. Again, tickets are at cantonballet.com or by calling the box office, which is 330-455-7220. And like I said, you can do one event, 2 events, or all 3. But I would suggest if you want to purchase, or if you want to attend all 3, you can purchase the VIP All Access Pass, because then you can save $10.
Tell me about your dance. Tell me about practices. Tell me about how you have learned to work together. Tell me about the whole experience.
Our dance, I don't know how we describe tribal. Is that a good?
I guess. I mean, it's we try to make it very intense and mean looking, I guess you can kind of say.
Is it like modern, interpretive kind of thing?
It has some modern qualities to it. There's a couple tricks. Tribal. Yeah. It's
Primitive.
tribal.
I call it primitive.
Primitive. Yeah.
What's the music?
It's drums and just different
All the drums.
tribal.
Very cool.
Yep.
Do you
Very
have
different.
to pick her up and do things, throw her and spin?
I
and-
do a couple lifts, but nothing really crazy.
Yeah. How about the trust that you have to build? This is someone that you're brand new dancing with, and how long did that take to build that trust and that camaraderie?
Not very long, honestly. We both have a very goofy our personalities meshed really well together, and
Yes.
I trusted him immediately.
Do you get assigned to each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that like, that meeting and that first, how did that go? How does that work when you're
Well,
just first getting started?
The first time actually we ever met was the year before in track season.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
When I seen her in the car when she first came and picked me up to go to practice, I looked at her, I said, "You look really familiar, I've seen you somewhere." Mm-hmm. And she looked at me like I was speaking a different language, and I said, "No, I've seen you somewhere for real. I think I've seen you at track, a track meet."
So where do you
Yep.
go to high school?
Central Catholic.
Okay, so Central ran against Maslin?
Yes.
Yep. And lost. But it's okay. We're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Well, you obviously made an impression. What was your event in
Oh,
track?
I do high jump in track, and so does he. So that's kind of how we met. We were both hanging around the high jump pit talking.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, my goodness. And that's so polite, too.
He's very polite.
Yes, that's cool. All right, I just want to know about how did you get to pick your own dance, or did someone come to you and say, "Okay, Madeline, Amon, this is the one you're going to do"? How does that work?
The first day, our choreographer was kind of okay, we'll try this out, see how it goes. And by the end of it, Amon was really good, picked everything up immediately. He's very good about that kind of stuff. And our choreographer was "Yep, I think this is the direction we're gonna go." And we're both "Yup," we're really feeling it.
Cool.
Yeah, each choreographer works a little bit differently. Some kind of come in set in stone. This is what it's going to be. Other ones I've seen come in with a couple music selections, everywhere from something slower to something fast. And they some will fiddle around with it the first couple of weeks and see what what seems natural to them. And they just go with it.
How much time do you get to practice together?
It's an hour once a week.
For how many weeks?
Oh, we started the first week when the kids go back after the New Year. So I think that was January 6th. Mm-hmm. And they practice every week leading up. And then as we get closer, sometimes they'll have extra rehearsals. So they'll practice more than once a week. And of course, we have full dress rehearsals in the studio, a full run through of shows. So sometimes they're in there 2-3 times a week as you get closer.
How tough is this to work into your regular day? High school kids are busy.
Man,
Yeah.
Harder for him probably because I'm there anyway. Like it's
Oh,
just
okay.
adding one more hour to my night. But
Have you worked this in?
I mean, I talked to some of my coaches, and they just said if I need to leave like maybe 5 minutes early, that was fine, or if I needed to do something extra just to make up for the work that we did at practice, then I can just do that and just get to going.
What's harder, dancing or sports?
Ooh, I don't know. It's kind of tough. You talk to Coach Stu, talk about Play Paradise. Play Paradise isn't no joke, but dancing will definitely have you tired.
Yeah. So you would consider ballet dancers athletes?
Most definitely.
Wow.
Most definitely.
Isn't that cool? How's that make you feel?
Yeah, it's about darn time. They admit it.
Yes, ma'am.
texted each other the next morning and we're like, oh, our thighs are like killing us. He's like, I
Sure.
can't walk.
Yeah. And just, oh my goodness. I mean, the feet take a beating, do they not? Just,
Yes.
yeah. So, yeah, well, good on you for be doing this. It's a great cause that you're donating to. All right, Ashley, that first year, you woke up with this idea, or where did this come from?
The idea came from actually Arts and Stark was encouraging all the the major cultural institutions in the community to do a football, related event. And the Canton Symphony Orchestra did something first where Lynn Swan had conducted the Canton Symphony Orchestra to scores by various kind of football-themed movies like Rudy and Remember the Titans and Friday Night Lights. And then after that, the Canton Museum of Art had planned the Scrimmage exhibit, which featured football related artwork from the Civil War all the way through modern times. And Canton Ballet was kind of next to do something, but obviously we were very limited. One, they're children. Two, they dance, so I don't know what you're supposed to do other than, do what you do best.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had just moved back from Europe because I was dancing and working in Europe. And
Yeah, let's park there 1 second. Let's not skim over that. You really have quite the resume.
I do. I mean, it's kind of a different life. I haven't had a cookie cutter life, but.
And what were you doing in Europe dancing?
Well, when I went to Europe, I was a assistant stage director and choreographer for the Deutsche Oper Berlin, which is the largest opera house in Berlin. It's also one of the largest opera houses in the world. It's very, if even military people know this, that the Deutsche Oper was a very iconic institution during the Cold War. So it's very famous because it was in the West. And so when people passed through, it, had everybody from, Queen Elizabeth to Stalin to, everybody came through the Deutsche Oper. So it's very historically an iconic venue. So I was, like I said,
is who is teaching your children to dance when you come to the Canton Ballet.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And I worked at the Greek National Opera as well. So I worked mostly in the opera ballet.
So you just got back here, and how did we get you?
So
what brought you to Canton?
Well, I'm from here. I went to Canton Central Catholic.
Okay.
I went to St. Michael's.
So you were coming back home.
What I thought was temporary.
Yes, a lot of us do that.
The artistic director, Cassandra Crowley, she was like, well, do you mind coming onto the board till you figure out what you're going to do? Because I had in my mind, I thought I was going back to New York. So I was like, yeah, sure. They needed a board member. I'm an alumna. Why not? I said, yeah, sure. She's like, yeah. And then she's like, do you want to do some? We have to do some kind of fundraiser because we're in the need for a new one because their long time Nutcracker Ball and various galas was kind of just it starts to run dry, and you just have to revamp yourself. So
that's right.
We kind of used this sort of concept of football with dance as a substitute for a fundraiser, but it was more like a test run because I never made it with the intention that it would be where it is now. I just thought, okay, let's hopefully if I get lucky, we're going to raise money and not break even. Because benefit performances are high risk because you have hard costs. If anyone knows anything about production, like I can't get a theater donated and I can't get lighting donated. I mean, there's just certain things that I just cannot get donated, so I can't cut costs anywhere. So they're a little bit higher risk than, a traditional gala or auction, and whatnot. So I just kind of said, okay, I'll do this. and we're going to do something with football and dance, and I don't know what we're doing, but I probably should come up with the name. It's like an elf, and always saying, I'm singing a song, It's like, okay, it's like, all right, we're going to do something with football players and dancers. Don't know what the name's going to be, but I'm going to figure it out.
And
and that's kind of how it went.
Brainstorm touchdowns and
so
tutus.
I did come up with the name for touchdowns and tutus when I was sitting outside with my mother on her patio, and I remember her saying something like, don't come up with something too sophisticated. You're going to have to use a word related to dance or ballet that everybody knows, even if they know nothing about dance or ballet. So I kind of created a little diagram, and I went to like word assimilation, and I didn't want to use the word football because that's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the word football. And I felt like that was generic. And I said I didn't want any Hall of Fame or, none of anything, just anything to keep it separate because that belongs to somebody else. And I just was like, Mom, what if I just do touchdowns and tutus? It is a benefit performance for Canton Ballet, even though I knew we shouldn't, dance in a classical realm for the show. It's still a benefit performance for an institution, which is, 50 some years old.
And alliteration.
Alliteration, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Some things are just perfect, and that happened to be one of them.
And it just stuck, and it's hard to kind of screw it up. Although sometimes people say tiara, and I'm like, no, don't. No, that's like honey boo boo. That's like honey, no.
No, touchdowns and tutus. But you've got to go to see it because you're not going to be seeing a ballet. You're seeing all kinds of different dance. Best part of this for you guys, what's been just the most fun about it?
Just like Aman in general, he's just a fun person to be around, and he's made it definitely like a really good time.
Definitely the energy that we have just at practice and having fun dancing and being yourself,
No, it just makes me want to come see it right now because I can't wait to see what you are about to do.
It's fun too because it's always like a wild card year with the judges because everyone's always new.
Yes.
So everybody has a different kind of personality. So we've had like a lot of sports celebrity judges that have stepped up to the plate come to Canton in March, which is not a nice time of year weather-wise. No. And they always contribute to the program, make it entertaining. But it's almost like it's a surprise even for me every year to see what their feedback is going to be and whatnot. So
much fun. March 7th. Remind us how to get tickets again.
Tickets are available at cantonballet.com or by calling the box office at 330-455-7220. Again, that's cantonballet.com or by calling the box office at 330-455-7220.
Aman, Madeline, Ashley, thank you so much for all you're doing for our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.